Okay, we got the ERA Vectis. Now, any hobbyists or lock sporters, you probably know what that is. So you could pretty much pick that in that state out of the door with any 7-gauge curtain pick, really, as long as you had the right size wire. You should be fine. But from a locksmith point of view, when we're called to open these, they're usually obviously stuck in a door, as in like that, and they've got the handles have got very tiny little escutcheons which you can't remove, and they're usually fitted quite deep in a PVC profile. This is one of the main reasons why when you get an ERA Vectis, the keys are much longer than normal, because like I said, they can be fitted quite deep. The problem a locksmith might have when faced with that is pretty much all, as far as I know, of your standard sort of curtain picks are too big to fully fit through the handle. Like, that's not, it can't go in deep enough. And a lot of the other curtain picks are the same. Basically, they're not designed to fit through such a small keyhole. Fine if you're picking it in a vise, if you've just got the lock out like that, yeah, that's not a problem at all. You can tension it, you can pick it, away to go. So from a locksmith point of view, you need to be able to, well, what I've seen people doing on forums and things, because they've got no other way of doing it, they haven't got the Vectis decoder, so they will literally drill the handles off, pick the lock as normal, and then have to source a replacement set of handles, and it can just turn into a bit of a mess, to be honest. Now, we do sell the longer curtain tips for the multi-pick. Here's one there with the collar removed, but even that is too big to fit through there. What these were originally designed for is you get a lot of steel containers, like tool chests on building sites, and actual containers themselves, shipping containers with like ERA Profit locks, deadlocks actually in the mechanism, and they can be set quite deep. That's why these were originally designed for, was to reach deep into the lock to enable you to pick it. But like I said, it's not going to work on this Vectis situation. So what we've done is we've made a specific Vectis tip and a set of wires, so the right size wires, very short. And what these allow you to do then is you can pop that in your multi-pick, back over here, and that fits properly into the lock and allows you to put tension on. So you've still got quite a bit of wiggle room in there, so it's really been thinned out. It's been profiled as well, chamfered at the front, because inside here there's like a set of dust covers that need prizing apart, and most curtain picks are usually flat tipped, so even trying to get that started can sometimes be a pain in the backside. So we've chamfered the tip so it'll just, it's the same as the key. Okay, and then you've got your left and your right wires that are sized specifically for the tiny little levers in that lock. So if you don't need to use a decoder, so for example, if you were a locksmith who doesn't do warrant work or doesn't work for any of the various agencies that require you to lock the door back up, then this new tip and set of wires is probably going to be a nice cheap way to have a dedicated tool to open these. They are a bit of a pain to lock back up with a curtain pick wire. I'm not saying impossible, but they're not exactly user friendly to lock. But if you're doing it in a lockout situation, all you got to do is unlock it anyway, so that's fine. If on the other hand your locksmith does warrant work, or again you do work for various other agencies where you need a lock back up afterwards, that is then where the the actual decoder comes in handy, because you actually get a working key at the end of it. You can unlock it and lock it and come back at a second occasion and let yourself in, no problem at all. That is where the decoder is ideal, but not a lot of people are going to need that functionality. So this little extra tip for your multi-pick is a nice, fairly simple, fairly cheap way. I think it's about £60 for the tip and the 2 wires. So that's a much cheaper way of getting into these locks than having to spend out on the decoder, which you might only use once or twice a year. Okay, so that's the new Vectis tip set from TJ Locks for the multi-pick.